Human Torch was denied a bank loan. The arsonist had what? We're on? Oh, good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy. I have just been handed an urgent and horrifying report. The source of the ghastly booze against Adam Goods have found truth. Hulk Hogan has recently been revealed as the culprit. When he visited Australia recently, his racist tendencies bred into the children and young men and even old men that loved him so much. We are now going to play you the first interview after this horrifying truth was revealed.
Betrayed WCW. Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Me, Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say. I have been with you for so many years. For you to join up with the likes of these two men absolutely makes me sick to my stomach. And I think that these people here and a lot of other people around the world have had just about enough of this man, and you want to put yourself in this group? You've got to be kidding me. Well, the first thing you got to realize, brother, is this right here is the future of wrestling. You can call this the new world order of wrestling, brother. These two men right here came from a great big organization up north, and everybody was wondering who the third man was. Well, who knows more about that organization than me, brother? I've been there, I've done that. You have made the wrong decision, in my opinion. Well, let me tell you something. I made that organization a monster. I made people rich up there. I made the people that ran that organization rich up there, brother. And when it all came to pass, the name Hulk Hogan, the man Hulk Hogan, got bigger than the whole organization, brother. And then billionaire Ted, amigo, he wanted to talk turkey with Hulk Hogan. Well, billionaire Ted promised me movies, brother.
It's just a continual battle at the moment, and it's frustrating. And, just to have all that bad energy targeted towards me, and it's just disappointing. I'm coming towards the end of my career, and if I leave the game this year, and that's the aftermath of what's happened at the end of my career, I'll be really disappointed with that.
So, Hulk Hogan is the one who did it. He started all those boos.
Just stop it, Hulkster.
Come on, mate. We can all get along.
Yeah, that's right.
Race is nothing.
That was the omen, man. When I found out that happened, he got the sack. I knew that St Kilda Melbourne was going to be a shit match.
Yeah, well,
that was in the morning, wasn't
and
it?
you went dressed up as him on that day.
I felt like a racist.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, well, I did. I felt like a fresh racist, freshly minted racist.
And you know what? That's how all the people who have been booing Adam Goods must feel too, because they got caught up in his charm.
What about, you were going to show something else, weren't you?
No,
because there are other sides to this argument, and I don't know what do you guys think?
Well, basically, for the listeners out there, they would have been mad confused by the first intro being the Hulkster part of it.
Probably.
It was when he joined the NWO. But
basically what it was a betrayal of sorts of the good people and the
dignity of football.
Yeah, dignity of football. Because whatever reason you boo Adam Goods now, doesn't matter anymore. It's just I think Goddard said it on TV the other night. Mm-hmm. He said, doesn't matter if it's racist or not. It's just straight up bullying. It is bullying on a scale of thousands, if nothing else.
The definition of bullying, paraphrasing, is whether it is something that happens continually. It's not a once-off thing, but it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And that's
There's a
bullying.
pattern. Yeah.
And that's the key, because I can understand someone booing any player if they dive and you see the replay, and then they've gotten the free kick. Like, that sort of booing, that's the nature of football. Sometimes people are going to get away with stuff, but the problem with Adam Goods is it turned from he gets booed when he happens to do something
Because
that
the only
opposition crowd
the only
don't
players
like.
that get booed throughout the whole game is someone that's done something dirty during the game, and then they comment for the rest of it.
Yeah, well, Vickery knocked out Dean Cox last year.
Got booed.
But he got booed. But
Or
for the first
someone
half,
that's
no one
just-
booed him. though.
justifiably booed.
But it was based on the injury. You can understand it.
Yeah.
It was an immediate context.
But Goods goes out there and he goes near the ball, and the crowd boo him. And it's just...
Do you think it's just sheepish
It's undignified.
behaviour? Do you think people do it not because they're overtly trying to be racist, but they're just being fucking sheep?
There's an element of that,
being a
I
bit
reckon.
like just, everyone else is doing it, so yeah, let's just get in on it.
And I think there's a real sort of like... There might be... Like the keenest booers are probably the racist ones. But there's also a lot of
Jack,
other people
can
who
I,
just...
Can I pull you up there?
Yeah,
Sorry. That was that's what solidified it for me nearly. Was, obviously there's been plenty of Goodsy up on the TV and all of that when he's getting booed. But if you actually watch the people who are booing him, there's probably about 3 out of 10 that are... They're vehement.
They're being aggressive.
Really aggressive. Like, you see the ones that are having a laugh and booing and, ones that are just booing. But you see the ones that clearly...
Do you know what it reminds me of?
They've got something else on the menu.
Yeah.
Do you remember the guys behind the goals at the West Coast game in 2000 and, I don't know, when West Coast and Sydney were having that rivalry?
And Michael O'Loughlin ran in.
Screamed in their faces, and they were fucking rednecks, man.
Yeah.
Absolute rednecks. Is that what you kind of... Because that's how I'm picturing
No,
it.
not at all. That's the complete opposite. Because...
No, but in the way they were behaving when they were booing
Yeah,
consistently. And
that
Goods.
one, that was great for footy. That was really great for footy
moment,
because he's just come in. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are. You've just run in. You've kicked a goal. You've sealed it in front of the home crowd, and you go right in there, cheers, and go fucking, head first.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Those West Coast supporters would have loved that. They would have hated it at the time,
But
but
they'll remember that moment for a long time, you think.
that's
They look
huge
pretty fucking
because they're-
nasty to me.
That's epic. That's
Oh, yeah.
epic. But then oh no.
This is when he
Goodsy.
touches the ball, bang, they all just...
Yeah.
get on
But
it.
there was not one look of any person there that honestly they were like, "I'm booing you more because you've just sunk our battleship."
Yeah.
No, that's all it was. They all would have been in shock. Actually, this is yeah, that's right. They would have been in shock. Epic moment, but Goodsy's just going near the ball.
Yeah.
Or he's taking a mark and he's just lining it up.
It's really
But
bad.
you
It's
can
like-
see the people, like, in the crowd. And as I said, there's 3 out of 10, I reckon, if you look, that is just seriously, like, not happy.
Well, they're just I think they're the
Really
sort of
not.
people that
It
come
stretches
to the ground.
beyond whatever Goods may have done to make people, like, dislike him as a footy player.
Yeah, they're just arseholes.
Why would they hate him so much?
Well, he's a big name. He's present
He's
in the
Aboriginal.
media. He's Aboriginal.
He's
But
Aboriginal.
he's probably a very vocal. He's
That-
one of the
for-
most
for
vocal
those-
Aboriginals.
For those 3 out of 10, what I'm saying, their problem is that he's an Aboriginal fella.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
but so's so many other Aboriginal
Yeah,
players.
but
That's right.
he's Australian of the Year.
That's
and
why I'm asking.
So the
it's more than
racist
just
to
being
the
Indigenous, it's being Indigenous plus being
Well,
Australian
it's-
of the year plus
the
being
racist
an
probably
Plus,
see him
he's
as
the one
uppity,
who's challenging. You guys need
This
to
is still
think
around.
about all of this a little bit more.
He puts an ugly
Nicky
mirror up for
Winmar put up his jumper,
Yeah.
and that was great for footy.
That was,
But
actually
that wasn't Nicky Winmar going out and pointing
Pointing out a
anyone
kid,
out,
yeah.
being more outspoken than compared to say Goods, because
Yeah.
Goods speaks what it. He's a leader. He says what he reckons.
And he has profile, and and
he
he's
has
using,
profile.
I think he really ultimately should be
And it's
admired
great.
because he's
Fucking
taken.
oath.
Yeah,
He's the modern day Marbo.
yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I reckon? I reckon something. And look, for the record, I would never boo Adam Goods, and I'm not a racist or anything like that. But people who say they're not racist shouldn't have to say they're racist. But anyway, it's another thing. The difference between Nicky Winmar and Adam Goods for me is that Nicky Winmar represented something in a much more harsher environment.
Yep.
And he did it with this, and it was a combination of his beautiful gesture that he did.
It was dignified.
And the photograph that guy took.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that visual symbol spoke so much more.
The picture says 1,000 words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is with Adam Goodes, and when you hear him talk, it doesn't have that same kind of thing. And people
of course not.
jump on it as being sooky.
Yeah.
And it sounds sookier than that powerful image.
But yeah,
he's doing the right thing for sticking up for himself, and he has every right to and stuff like that. But I mean, like the way Nicky Winmar did it was just, I don't know.
It's different times,
such an
completely
amazing,
different times. And
Winmar, you know what? There's a photo of him doing it.
Yeah, of course.
Of
Winmar.
Of
Goods.
Of Goods.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's been. You look at his timeline, and it'll be more impressive than most footy players.
Yeah.
He's played like nearly 400 games.
Yeah.
And like he said when he was talking, that if he was to quit this year or whenever, if this was to be what he's remembered,
I'd be sad. I'd be really sad
oath.
if that was the case. No, if he does, because he's not
two-time
playing,
Brownlow.
he's definitely not
Brownlow
playing
medalist.
this week. They've
Well,
called it. They've called it that he's
a freak.
Yeah, they've called it that he's not playing this week.
Yeah.
I think it'd be bad for the game, and it would be just bad in general if
You know
he
what
retired and never played another game.
Not to harp on it for too much longer, but just to kind of mention his talk about bad vibes. You know, like the booing is the verbal kind of accumulation of bad vibes. Yeah, it's the ultimate nasty spit in the face. But you know, do you ever sit in the game and like literally have bad vibes for a certain player?
If they do something,
Not really.
If they do something untoward early, but not consistently. No.
Really?
I honestly,
I don't think so.
Really?
except for Zach Dawson, I can't stand that bastard. I'll boo him every time he goes.
Listen,
near
I pull it out at players, but
Can't
I notice
stand
that
Zach Dawson. He cost Maxi Hutchinson a fucking full tilt boogie at the flag.
I mean, I do it every
Ross-
week
Ross
against
lost.
an entire team of Essendon players, but you know.
Yeah, I think
But
that's.
I kind of
I
think about
hate
it. It's
the
pretty
jumper.
bad. Like,
So that's it. You have to think about whether or not you'd boo someone.
Relentlessly, I don't think I
Yeah.
could ever boo someone.
But I'm just talking about the
relentlessly.
vibe level as well, because Adam Goodes mentions the vibe, and I think that's something else people don't think about. The booze is one thing.
Do you
It's,
know
it's
what
the
it is?
it's the hateful intent on someone.
Do you know what
That's
it
a vibe.
is in a splash into the sauce? It's when Watson came out last year and spoke freely and said, "This is what I think." You know, we would
I
take.
think I was given this.
Yeah.
And then he went to West Coast.
and they booed the fuck out of him.
Well, listen, West Coast have always been a
Yeah,
hostile and rude
I know.
and
But
terrible
in this
crowd.
particular,
But yes.
no. But in this instance, Watson got booed for the whole
The whole
game. No,
game,
no other Essendon player unless he did something cheeky.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he got
He
booed
got
from
just
start to
as if
finish.
you didn't know.
But he had
So-
a huge...
Right.
But what was the best story about that is he had a
So-
huge third and fourth quarter.
But the aftermath from that was people came out and said, "No, that's not right. Why are you booing him?"
yeah. Oh, all the players.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone did, and then that pretty much stopped.
Yeah.
Whereas with the good thing, it's been carried.
It's
It could have been carried out in a more dignified fashion to tidy it up, to address both sides of the party.
It's such a broad thing, though. And
But it's not. It's the opposite. It's just
No, but I don't mean the issues of it. It's like, how do you tell... You know, how many different people go to the football each year? I'd like to know
But
that.
it's not telling them not to boo.
No, I understand
No.
that, but I'm just saying the reason it's such a problem is it's become a fan-driven movement.
In a
And
world where
fan-driven-
trends happen to catch on really fast.
Exactly. Things catch on and they burst and they spike for a while.
It's a
and
meme
that's-
society.
It's a meme. Yeah, it's a meme society. You're right. And the meme at the moment seems to be amongst a lot of people is to
trolls.
boo Adam Goodes.
They're just trolls.
And now, because more and more people are coming out and saying you shouldn't boo him, please don't boo him, this is obviously affect him. It gets this sort of mob mentality of he's weak, let's get him. Like,
Yeah.
and we know that it bothers Goodes that he gets booed. So
Yeah, and that's the
I
thing.
think
That's why when he
it's caught so
that's
much
why when he
momentum.
talks about it, the more he talks about it, he invites that.
I don't think he invites it. I think
a lot of people take
You know
that
how
as
he,
an
how he would
invitation.
invite it was if while he's playing footy, if he fucks up, then get on him.
Yeah.
And you'd be getting on him for the reasons that he's a little. You'd say he's probably a little bit self-centered because Tim Membry wouldn't have come to the Saints if Goodsy hadn't have just said, you know what, I'm going to hang up the boots.
Yeah.
He was keeping Membry out of the squad, and Membry's young, but still, Goods is 38. He's a machine.
Yeah, he is. He's